You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I pissed so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ride it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound it surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
We're set. Ready. Here we go. Check 13. Check 34. Time to go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, it's Johnson. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now the first carry for Wendell Smallwood. And This one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 21. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Flush to his right. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Set. 19. Up to be done. Up to be done. Kill. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Another shot from the one on second, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 11.
Shit. 66. Pull it. Pow. Jim.
Operating from the gun. Jackson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the edge.
Here's Jackson. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A throw over the middle, taken in, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 3rd down, Dobbins, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line.
They find some open field here. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Smallwood. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
40-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. It's Hill, complete. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans push further out in front. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Jackson, he'll find Metcalf. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup of 38. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. His throw caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one taken just inside the 10. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out.
It got his man complete. There he goes right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's good, and it's 21-10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Check Mike 11, check Mike 11. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Jackson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. And an alley to run. Room to run past midfield. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Pick me up. Here we go. Check 99.
And a gain of 4 gets them right to the midfield stripe.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
From the 50, it's Watson. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On third down, Johnson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Watson on first down. Forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Check. Fresno. Check 3. Let's go.
On second down, Smallwood. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Hunt. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch safety screaming. Safety screaming. Hey, 24. Check 24. Shift. Watch the shift. Undercrush.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Third and 2, Watson. It's wearing the tight end with it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here we go with Johnson. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. A first down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, check Mike.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Tighten up. Wide. Get wide.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4. At the 18-yard line.
On 2nd down and 4, Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. They run. It's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football, That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Throwing on second down. Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. To throw is Jackson, and he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Benjamin. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. From just shy of midfield, Watson got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Watson now to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Johnson.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. On 3rd down, it's Johnson. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. First down, a run with Smallwood. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. back to Smallwood. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, this from 34. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. One last shot for Jackson. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Houston, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen,